But should you take up streaming? Should you take up streaming? It's a big question, right? And what I would say is, you've got to make sure you do it for the right reasons. If you're just a bog standard person and you enter streaming with the pure intention of wanting to make money and wanting to be driven by money or for fame or whatever, if you go into it with that, don't. It's not going to work. It'll work for a bit, and some people might make it work, but ultimately, if you're going to be sitting there for 3 or 4 hours doing something you're not enjoying, it ain't going to work, mate. It ain't going to work. But if you like gaming, you like talking to people, then go for it, right? That's think about doing it, because that's why you should do it. To meet new people, to put yourself out there and just play games, just do something you enjoy. And I'd say most gamers have it in them. To stream. Even though gamers are historically solitary people hiding away in a corner of a room in their pants and eating Doritos whilst playing The Legend of Zelda, I think most could do it. You've got to ask yourself as well, do you have the time and do you already have the right work-life balance? Because while streaming isn't a job, when you factor in other things you've got to do, like editing, like sticking to a schedule, when people subscribe to you, you feel like you've got to give them something back. Even if you're not doing it for the money, you feel like you've got to give them something back extra. You don't want to be putting extra stress in your life if you've already got a busy work-life thingy going on. Make sure you've got the time. Make sure you can squeeze it in. Make sure you can do it in a relaxed environment. Don't try and squeeze it in half an hour here or there, because that's just not going to work for anyone. It'll ultimately make you stressed and it'll make your content bad. But if you've got the right time, do it. Now, are you also ready to talk for hours upon hours upon hours and potentially to no one at all? Potentially no one at all. You could be sat there all day and be talking to no one. Is it going to bum you out, or is it going to be fine? And the reason I ask is, when you're starting out as a streamer, your view out might show 0, it might show 1, it might show 2, and no one might be chatting in your stream. But people stream surf, right? I do it a lot. I'll just click a random stream, I'll sit in there for a couple of minutes, and if I like the vibe, after 10-15 minutes, I might have a chat, I might not. People lurk, people don't always follow, and you've got to always be performing like you're streaming to hundreds and hundreds of people. Think of it like a radio show, right? Well, a radio show back in the day before you had text messages and emails. An old school radio show wouldn't necessarily know who's listening or how many are listening until people phoned up or until people reviewed it afterwards, or until they looked at the figures afterwards. People would just sit there, play music and talk as if people were listening. And that's kind of how you got to treat it. It's how you got to treat it. And if you answer yes to that and you've already answered yes to the other 2 questions, I say go for it, right? I say it's the right thing for you. I'd never put anyone off streaming. I think everyone should do it. I think everyone should give it a go if they want to. But just don't strain yourself and don't stress yourself out for it. I'm a culprit for doing that sometimes. Trying to stick to a schedule, but realistically, it should be a relaxing, enjoyable experience. So if you can do it in that environment, do it. If you can't, then it might not be for you, or it might not be for you at this stage in your life. But if you're thinking about it, just give it a go. If you need some advice, pop into my Discord. I'm happy to help out if I can, if I got time. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there. Give it a go. Give it a go.